All right, guys, I'm coming at you with all the breaking news here now. So it is official. We have Trump validating it for us, but Charlie Kirk is dead. So as you all know, as we discussed earlier, Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck while doing a Turning Point USA debate event at a college in Utah. There were some videos coming out of it, and I didn't want to watch the video. Popped up all over my timeline, but I clicked play, probably a bad move. I saw first one from a distance, and you could see his body reacting to the shot. The real one that I highly recommend you don't watch is the up close one, because that is bad. Ooh, is that bad? That's one that sticks with you. He gets shot in the neck and just immediate, like gushing, like tsunami of blood comes out of his neck. My initial reaction when I saw the up close video, last time I talked to you, I hadn't seen the up close version yet. I only saw one from far away, but the one from up close, it was like he's gone. He's gone. And it took maybe, they said he actually was hanging on there for a while, for like an hour or two. When he got to the hospital, he was still technically alive, which is kind of amazing if I'm being honest with you. But soon thereafter, it's now been verified that he passed away. So Trump said the following: "The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially me. And now he is no longer with us. Melania and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. Charlie, we love you." So he had 2 kids and a wife, obviously. Now, at the same time that was going on, we had breaking news of another school shooting that happened in Evergreen High School in Jefferson County, Colorado. And I believe it's either 2 or 3 people who are now hospitalized because of that shooting. So, you can't tell me that things aren't collapsing. You can't tell me that this country isn't falling apart, because when you look at a political assassination, overshadowing a school shooting and happening at the exact same time, I mean, that's not good. That is not a good sign, y'all. That is rapid decline. So I had told you guys earlier, there were reports of this older guy who was, everybody thought was the Charlie Kirk shooter, and it was floating all around social media. But this is part of the problem with social media and getting that real-time information, is sometimes you can swing and miss big. And so it turns out that guy did not do the shooting. He did not do the shooting. He was taken into custody, and they realized very quickly he did not do the shooting. And so they realized the shooter apparently shot from about 200 yards away, and in like one of the school buildings. So it was a shot from very far away. It was a high-powered rifle. It was further away than the shot attempt on Trump from Butler, Pennsylvania. But the original guy that they thought did the shooting, it was not him. So it was false reports. People had, and this is crazy, but people were showing the guy who they detained, they had pulled up his name and said he was a registered Democrat, and like all that stuff, just throw it out the window, because that's not even the guy. That's not even the guy. And this happens with these sorts of shootings, and this, this real-time information coming in, people get ahead of themselves, and this was an example of that. So as of right now, there is no suspect in custody. There is no suspect in custody. Now, this is crazy. This is crazy. I believe this was Politico that reported this, but listen to this. Video posted on social media shows the moment Charlie Kirk was shot and the seconds leading to the incident. Kirk was being asked questions about mass shootings in America. Quote, "Do you know how many mass shootings there have been in America in the last 10 years?" a person asks. Quote, here's what Charlie responds with: "Counting or not counting gang violence." And then he gets shot. They're literally discussing mass shootings, debating mass shootings, right as Charlie Kirk gets shot. Somebody quote tweeted this with, "America is a wild place." Yeah, you don't say. You don't say. Now here's another one, which is just an absolute mindfuck. Okay, this is making everybody go, huh? But the magazine Jezebel, they tweeted the following. Ready? This is real. This is real. And this is from September 8th. Right now it's September 10th. This from 2 days ago. Ready? They said, We paid some Etsy witches to curse Charlie Kirk. What? And at the end of the article, this is what it says, quote, "So did my Etsy curses work? Time will tell. The forces move in mysterious ways. And as the priestess reminded me, spell work is a collaboration between the caster, the client, and the universe itself. For now, we can only trust in the timing of the great unknown. A special thank you to the witches of the modern age who work tirelessly to hex Republicans and topple conservative regimes, and the occasional ex-boyfriend. Your work is appreciated." So that is sort of blowing people's socks off there. Now, they literally added an editor's note to the piece after the shooting, and it says, "This story was published on September 8th. Jezebel condemns the shooting of Charlie Kirk in the strongest possible terms. We do not endorse, encourage, or excuse political violence of any kind." Bro. I mean, you guys know me. I'm as secular as they come. I'm an atheist. And I see this and I'm like, damn, bro, are witches real? Are witches actually real? Because I've never seen anything like this. This is crazy to me. That's crazy to me. That's some wild coincidence type stuff right there. So here's another update for you. Benjamin Ryan, who's an independent reporter, he tweets the following. Charlie Kirk was scheduled to debate Hassan Piker at Dartmouth College on September 25th, so the end of this month, on his Twitch live stream. Piker reacted to the news with horror, urging some of his followers to stop making jokes about the shooting. Hey Salem. Salem's on our way down. Don't step on my computer, buddy, please. And he expressed fear that he could be similarly targeted. Quote, "This is a terrifying incident," Hassan said. "The reverberation of people seeking out vengeance in the aftermath of this violent, abhorrent incident is going to be genuinely worrisome." So I saw the video of Hassan reacting because he was live in real time. And you see his reaction and he's like, holy fuck. He's like in shock. And then when he sees the up close video where you can see the blood rushing from his neck, he was just absolutely flabbergasted. He was blown away. And he like basically, he didn't know what to say. He was just horrified by it. A lot of people are also pointing out, and this is really disturbing. Here's something that Charlie had regularly argued, and hard disagree on this one, man. But quote, I think it's worth it to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year, so we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. It is rational. So, hey, some gun deaths every year are worth it for Second Amendment rights. It's like, well, I mean, now you're one of those people. And, when it hits so close to home, I know minds tend to change. And this is why it makes sense to do all the kind of gun reforms that we always talk about. Universal background checks, red flag laws, ban high-capacity magazines, assault weapons ban. There should be a licensing system, a testing system. Because we got a lot of crazy people in this country and a lot of fucking guns, over 300 million, and this is the result, And we still don't know the motivation behind who did it, but of course the right is really getting ahead of themselves, and I'll get to that in just a second. But first, literally all of the gun stocks shot up massively as they reacted to Charlie Kirk getting shot. And I don't know, man, that seems like a pretty gross system to me. That seems pretty backwards, pretty gross, that you could literally have investment and profit being made off of something like this happening. It's kind of crazy. All right, so now here's the right. The right absolutely losing it. So Mike Cernovich comes out and says, "Congressional hearings now. Every billionaire funding far left-wing extremism. Soros, Bill Gates, Reid Hoffman. Massive RICO investigations. Every dollar accounted for. Every pass-through group's financial records public." So in other words, he's saying, use this to take down any Democrat, liberal, or leftist. Basically, we're going to go ahead and say they're all in on this and they're all guilty. So put a RICO case on any liberal or left-wing donors. That's crazy, bro. Blake Masters says in response to Cernovich, 1,000 times this. Left-wing violence is out of control, and it's not random. Either we destroy the NGO and donor patronage network that enables and foments it, or it will destroy us. So somebody points out here that the right is chomping at the bit for an act of violence that will serve as a pretext for shutting down all opposition politics. And we all know that's what Trump wants to do. He's already flirting with going full tyranny, police state, martial law. That's why he invaded Los Angeles, invaded DC, now going to invade Chicago. We're already at the point where he's doing police state stuff. He's doing martial law stuff, but they're looking for something to go further, and this could be the fuel that they need to go further. It's absolutely wild. It's absolutely wild. But what you need to remember is this. They're all going to point fingers. They pointed fingers. Remember the last shooting where it was a trans shooter, but the trans shooter was also a Nazi and had like Nazi things written on the gun or written on the clip. Well, the right didn't care about the evidence that this person was far right and was Nazi. They just kept saying over and over, this is a left-winger, so we're lying about it. But just remember, none of these people gave a shit about a Democratic lawmaker in Minnesota being assassinated just a couple months ago when the person who did it, that was explicitly right-wing terrorism. And it was explicitly to make it so the Democrats didn't have the majority in Minnesota anymore. I remember covering that in detail. The guy was a lifelong right-wing activist who did it. Now, in this instance, again, we don't know who the person is. There hasn't even been a person caught yet. I don't even think there's a person of interest yet, at least as of this recording right now, as I talk to you guys. But I'll tell you this, and this is something nobody's really talking about right now. Charlie Kirk was feuding with the Nazis before he was killed. Let me repeat that. Charlie Kirk was feuding with Nazis before he was killed. He was being called a sellout. He was being called too far left. People to his right were effectively purity testing him and saying, you're not far right enough. So we don't know. We genuinely don't know who did it and what their motive was. But it very easily could have been somebody far left. It very easily could have been somebody who was just flat out mentally ill. And it very easily could have been somebody who's a Nazi, who's far right, who very recently they've been going after Charlie Kirk and going after him pretty aggressively. And then the final thing I'll leave you with right now is MSNBC. This is wild. So one of the hosts on MSNBC said the following, quote, "We don't know if this was a supporter shooting a gun off in celebration." Bro, what? What? No, I think we don't know what the motive was of the shooter, but we can say pretty safely it wasn't that. You don't shoot from 200 yards away and hit your target as an oopsie. No, this definitely was, a targeted assassination. There's no doubt about it. But the question is, was the motivation somebody who's extremely mentally ill and violent? Was it somebody who's far left? Or was it somebody who is a Nazi and to Charlie Kirk's right? So there you have it. There are your updates for now. Yeah, really not good, man. Really, really not good. And this isn't, as I said in the previous video, this isn't the end, right? Like, when political violence comes, it comes in bunches. And you get the sense that this is just the beginning. And you get the sense, Trump and the right may really start going down the path to hell in response to this, right? That's the sense I get, is just like what we saw in the 1960s, like when you had one political assassination, you had like 5 more that accompanied it, and you had all hell break loose. I think we're in for a tumultuous time, man. I really do. And this is not going to go well for anybody. That's for sure.